Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so glad to see all of you here today. This is one of my favorite days because it's so fun to just look around and see all the students and then just one little part of like the ripple effect of this room, of like the students going and then being with their families and the ripple effect of where that goes. It's just fun, and so I love it. If I haven't had the chance to meet you, I would love to get to know you over lunch. But I am Heather. For those of you who don't know me, my husband is back there, Troy, blue shirt back there. So him and I have been here at his house, SVSU, for the last 26 years, and we met at his house about 30 years ago, and it really changed our life, and we have been involved in his house ever since. And so today is just an opportunity for all of you to be able to see visually like what goes on campus here. And so we're going to have we've had a lovely staff member, Caitlin Schwenke, with us this year and half of last year and the last 5 years as a student. So including internship, but she's been amazing, and we have absolutely loved having her be here. She is going to take you through a rundown of what today is going to look like. And just a little side note, there's a student here that has made some stickers this year. She's been making some stickers and selling them, and she made some for his house, and they're adorable, and they're on the back table. So if that interests you and you like them for water bottles or whatever, she's selling them on the back table when we're done here today. So I just wanted to put a little plug in for that because she's amazing, and the stickers are great. So here is Caitlin.
Hi, everybody. As Heather said, my name's Caitlin, and I have sincerely loved getting to know your students over the last, this is my 6th year with his house at SVSU. They're all amazing, and it's a privilege to get to love God with them. But to give you a quick rundown of today, if you've been here before in the past, or this is your first spring celebration, we just had some worship, and now we're going to have some student testimonies sharing about their experience with his house, and then there'll be the grand reveal of our year-end video. Troy works really hard to put together video clips throughout the year to give you a snapshot of all what goes on. And then there will be a giving opportunity, and then one more song at the very end for worship, and then we'll just give you some directions for lunch. But I hope you guys enjoy, and really it's just a blessing to see all of you guys here this morning. So,
hey everyone, my name is Allison, and I'm a freshman finishing out my first year here at SVSU. I just want to give a brief look into what I've been doing here at his house, and then what it has meant to me this past year. So coming into college was kind of a big change for me, a little bit terrifying, and I knew that I was going to need to find a strong Christian community. I prayed so hard coming into college that the Lord would lead me to other Christians. Long story short, God went before me and really provided the way. At the beginning of the year, I was invited to his house by my friend Faith. She had been my counselor at a Christian camp called Lake Ann a couple years ago. I was a little nervous to go, but from the first moment that I started to meet his house people, I felt so encouraged. I saw such a beautiful, Christ-like community of people and group of people here. I found so much belonging and fellowship with them. God provided so much more than I had asked. I started going to weekly meetings with other freshmen called Freshman Life Group, and now I've been able to be involved in so many other ways as well. I've met so many people and some of my best friends here. I've learned a lot about graciousness and the goodness of God, and growing in my prayer life, and leading alongside others who are running after the Lord with all their strength. Over the past year, I've gotten to go to ICOM, International Conference on Missions, serve with Samaritan's Purse for Rebuild in North Carolina, help with his house Bible awareness event, which is called Crave, and in May, I also have the opportunity to go on a mission trip to Germany. I went to ICOM in November, and despite getting lost a few times and ending up in the wrong spots, I got to meet people from all over the world. I saw the global church in a way that I never have before. Such a large group of believers coming together in prayer, worship, and teaching reminded me again how important it is to share the gospel and be in fellowship with other believers. Serving with Samaritan's Purse during spring break was also super cool. My team was placed on a house that was just finishing up repairs. Some of us had pretty much no experience working in construction, but our forewoman Danielle was super patient. I got to put up siding, learn how to use a nail gun, and retexture a wall, which was all super fun. I also got to meet the owner of the house, Julie, and got to hear how faithful the Lord had been to her. Her dependence on God for peace and wisdom through the storms of this world was really encouraging. It reminds me of Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Trusting in the Lord throughout any situation has been something that God has really been teaching me. Praying about any decision, big or small, that might arise helps to trust in God's plan and calm any fears that I might have for the future. I've grown so much during the past year. Seeing God work through his house and the community here has been really amazing to see. I've been so blessed by this ministry, and I know that God will continue to do amazing things through them. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Bowen. Hi. I just wanted to share a little bit about what his house has meant to me over these past couple of years. I first got involved through an event called Crave. That's something we do here at his house where we read the Bible. We start on a Monday night. We read it day and night, nonstop, and usually in around Thursday evening sometime. But everyone signs up for a time slot and keeps it going. Well, my first year, I ended up reading from the book of Numbers, the real meat and potatoes of it. The section I read was all about the offerings to God. But honestly, it was a really special time. Because at that point in my life, I'd been kind of wandering for a while, doing my best to walk with God, but really longing for community. And Crave turned out to be a major blessing. God used that place to put a real solid community into my life through his house. From day one, everyone was so welcoming, and I made friends quickly. When I think of his house, that's the word that I think of, community. A few of my closest friends and I even started an accountability group where we meet weekly to chat and do life together. Those guys have built me up so much in Christ, and I've been really challenged through them to keep my faith first and keep it genuine. And for that, I couldn't be more grateful. One memory that stands out happened a few years ago at Cycle the Campus, which is a fundraiser where students bike around one of the campuses that his house is at to support our ministries. That year it was in Oakland, and my friend Ashley gave me a ride after a long and hot day of biking, we got back and we're unloading the car. Now the official version of this story is that I dropped my bike, smacked myself in the face, a classic Bowen move. But the running joke is that Ashley threw a haymaker out of left field and busted my eye open. Now obviously that's not what happened, but let's be honest, that's the better version. Jokes aside, his house has been such a place of growth for me. If there's one word I use to sum up what I've learned here, it's courage. Now, I'm not claiming to be the boldest person in the room or the most courageous, but I've definitely grown in this area. The word courage comes from the old French word courage, which stems from the Latin word cor, meaning heart. Now, true courage isn't about doing hard things, it's about acting out of love, even when it's scary. And I believe that God calls us to do that kind of courage every single day, not by our own strength, but through Christ Jesus who gives us strength. So if I could encourage anyone here today, especially if you're just getting started or you're still figuring things out, I would tell you, lead into your community, stay genuine in your walk, and take heart. God's not done with you yet. Thank you.
What's up, his house? My name is Ashley Hoffman. I'm the person who threw a sucker punch at Boet. No, I'm just kidding. I just want to share a little bit what His House has meant to me and the community that's brought me throughout my 4 years of college. So I'm a senior. I'm a chemistry major, and I'm about to graduate in May. So I'm very excited and looking forward to that. And I've been in His House, involved in His House since my freshman year, but I actually didn't start going to Tuesday night His House. I was actually involved in freshman life group, which they meet Monday nights, and I got involved in that by attending a thing called Red Pride Picnic, which we have on campus, and that's where I first met His House for the first time. Signed up, and the rest is history. And so I can confidently say through my 4 years attending His House that this ministry has changed my life and has meant so much to me. And I know that I can speak on behalf of so many other people who this ministry has changed as well. So you see, I didn't grow up too far from here. I live in Midland, and I grew up in a loving Christian home. My 2 loving parents are back there along with my sister. And grew up in a Christian home, was really active in church, but never really knew who God was. And I thought I did for a long time until coming to college. I really had a misconstrued idea of what a Christian life meant and what faith was. I thought it was just accepting a bunch of biblical inspired ideas or being spiritual or being part of a Christian community, which those are all incredible things apart what a Christian life is, but I've come to realize that so many people today know about who God is, but don't actually know Him personally as a personal relationship with God. And so what I've learned through these 4 years is that true saving faith requires a genuine relationship with Jesus, not just head knowledge or knowing about Christian or religious things, but an outward appearance. It's a life that shows transformation through love, humility, and obedience to God's word, even when it's hard. It means bearing spiritual fruit, putting Christ at the center of your life, and continually seeking to grow. It's not about perfection, because we're not perfect. And that is such a good thing because God is gracious in that. And it's not about perfection, it's about surrender and outward walk with Jesus, trusting Him to keep His promises through the gospel. And this is the mission that I believe that I've learned, and I know that Troy and Heather so instilled in my life and the lives of many students. And I'm blessed to know a good chunk of these people throughout these years. And so for a long time, I was living for myself. I was chasing my own goals. In high school, I wanted to make a name for myself. I did all these things to upgrade my resume in such a way, and I thought that I would live a life that would satisfy me, like working for a corporate company. I mentioned I was a chemistry major, so like working for Dow, and making a ton of money and seeking a career that would build my future off of that. But during my freshman year, a close friend of mine, Caitlin, and I had a conversation, and she told me that our main purpose in college isn't just to study and get a degree. It's to love people and be a light for Christ while we are students. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Not get a degree? That's the whole point of why I'm here in college. And she's like, no. Like, yes, study hard, work hard, be diligent. But your purpose here, Christ put you here for a purpose to love on others while being a student. And that stuck with me, and it shifted my perspective. It reminded me that college isn't just about academics. It's about a mission field, a place to live out our faith and impact others right where we are right now. And I know that this doesn't apply to college students. It applies to all of us, in your workplace, in your church, in your family, everywhere. God calls us to live this way. So because of this shift, I also made a decision that still honestly scares me. I always thought that, like I said, I'd pursue a career working for Dow, currently co-oping there, and that's a very easy way to just get a job, and get a place there. But I knew that wouldn't be fulfilling for me. And over the last couple years, especially here at His House, we have spring break trips, which are awesome. And for the last 3 years, I've been going on a spring break trip. It's called the Samaritan's Purse, or that's the organization that we partner with, and the purpose for those trips is to rebuild and restore houses during disaster relief. So this year I was extremely blessed to go with an amazing group of students to North Carolina to rebuild houses that were devastated by the hurricanes earlier this year. And like I said, this was my third year going. I expected similar things. I'm going to go build houses, pour into others, and leave and learn some godly things, right? And I was completely wrong about that. Yes, those things happened, but I really, really wrestled with God, and I was like, what is happening? What is happening right now? Why do I feel these things? I don't understand why I'm so passionate about building houses. Why am I one of the first people to sign up without batting an eye? And I'm like, this isn't chemistry, what? So I just was completely taken aback by that, and I'm just like, no, God, no. I'm gonna pursue my life, work hard, get my degree, and serve you in whatever way I can in a science field. But he really took me aside and was like, listen, I just feel this passion towards Christ to serve others, and I always love serving people. And this spring break, like I said, I really wrestled with God, talked to plenty of my peers, talked to Heather, prayed, and really just wrestled, and kind of threw a Gideon, out there. I'm like, okay, God, if this is something that you want me to pursue, give me a sign, and the Lord faithfully did. And it really just sealed the deal. So what I'm trying to say is God was pulling my heart in a different direction, and this year I've decided to pursue and apply for a position at Samaritan's Purse. And it's still really scary, but I love this type of work, even though I never thought I could do it after college. And, eventually, like I said, my mind was made up, and not just Samaritan's Purse, but also nonprofits, because I want to keep my options open. But it's something totally different, because I never thought I would ever pursue this type of work, ever. And so I love helping others and serving, and it has nothing to do with my major, and that's really scary, but I believe that God is calling me into something bigger and greater, whatever that might look like, whether serving in something like this or not. And even though that's not the desired path or the original path that I originally sought out, I know that he's leading me somewhere that's good, and instead of somewhere where I feel safe. So, like I said, this decision is hard, but I know it's a bit easier because I have an amazing group of friends and support here who I consider family, who I love dearly. And I've met some of my closest friends here who I consider, to be lifelong friends. And don't cry. And I know that God has done incredible things through this ministry, not just this year, and I know we're just celebrating this year, but randomly, last night, because I didn't know what to talk about, I was, on our His House YouTube page, just watching some old year-end videos, came up across 2016. I wasn't even in high school yet. But just looking for some inspiration, and instead they reminded me of how much joy this community has brought to so many people. His House has helped students find real relationships, deepen their faith, and even meet future spouses. Because I have two besties who are getting married this summer because they found their spouse here at His House. And not just that, I know that plenty of others have had their lives touched here. And I'm very excited to celebrate with my friends in the summer. So being a part of His House community has meant the world to me, like I've been mentioning. I really feel like Bowen was saying, this idea of community, and like Allison was saying, this idea of fellowship and really getting involved. Parents, family, professors, I don't know if you understand that this means a lot to these students. It means a lot to myself. And I've been surrounded by people who genuinely love Jesus and love each other, and I'm so, so thankful for the friendships and the faith that have changed my life. And I pray that this campus ministry will continue impacting the lives of others as it has done for my own. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. So excited that you're here today. Some of you have been regulars for a number of years. Thank you for returning. Some of you, this is your first spring celebration, and want to figure out what your kids have been involved with, and I think the testimonies and the video we're about to see is going to share that. Just a preface for the video, I don't remember, I think we had like 14 hours of footage before Crave, and I got that down to just under a half hour. So it's it's about a half hour message video. Don't look at that clock because it's never right. But after that, we'll have a giving opportunity, and we'll close with one more song. And we'll just let the video speak for itself. A little plan of what's ahead. Lunch. We want to bless you, and we know there's some bigger families, and we just want to be a blessing for lunch. We are covering that, but we'll also be taking an offering in just a moment. Don't feel obligated, but if you can bless the ministry of His house, we would really appreciate that. A little history. I'll let the video and the testimony speak for themselves about the day in and day out of ministry. Our mission statement is collaborating on the journey toward God's best, and I think you could see that demonstrated in the video. We've had 21 baptisms so far this year. Yeah. And the year's not quite over. So, a little history of His house. His house was founded in 1969 at Michigan State University, and then it's expanded to several campuses. We're at 13 campuses now, all in Michigan, and the retreat footage that you saw is together with the other campuses from around the state. And being a ministry to college students, that's not a self-sustaining ministry. It's kind of like an overseas missionary. The staff raises funds to be able to do this ministry. And we have a couple students that give an offering challenge every week to their fellow students, and that is part of discipleship, but poor college students aren't able to sustain a full-time ministry like this. So the staff raises personal support. That's not what this afternoon is about. We also do things like the Bibles we gave away at Crave, and discipleship books that we give out to students going through groups, and retreat scholarships, and van maintenance, and event supplies, sound equipment. All that comes from, we have a little bit of a budget towards that, but we have an escrow account that we use for most of that, and the donation today will go towards that. So it'll be towards physical, tangible things that we do in our ministry. And those who have been here before, and students who are familiar with Cycle the Campus, will start announcing that this coming Tuesday. But the bike-a-thon that you saw in there, it's changed a little how we're doing it. It used to be the staff would, depending on the staff at a campus, we would give a certain amount to the general fund of His house statewide, and beyond that will go to your specific campus. They're changing that, so this year for Cycle the Campus, there's a $150 registration fee for every person, and that will go to statewide, and then whatever people set a goal beyond that will go to our campus. So today's offering, after covering lunch, will go right to our campus because we don't have like a big chunk to knock off towards the bike-a-thon. So today's offering will go right back to this campus. So we're going to pass some boxes, and I think we have a couple students that are going to help get it through the row. There's also, can we put the QR code up? Or it's on the little handout you got, the little quarter sheet has a QR code. If you don't have cash or check, you can use that to give through Venmo or give through our website using a card. And you can, if you don't have a card with you, don't have cash with you, you can always take the the card, the quarter sheet flyer, and do that a little bit later. Also, besides lunch, another way that we wanted to bless you today is our campus has developed a discipleship book that we've been using for a number of years. How many students have been in one of those discipleship groups? So a lot of people have already been through it. Our goal is to get all of our students through one of those discipleship groups. But that is published on Amazon and Kindle. And today, this weekend, is free for the Kindle version if you go to Amazon. So if you look at my business card, that you might have been handed one. If not, there's some at the table. It tells you how to find that book. If you look that up today or tomorrow before midnight, you can download the Kindle version of that discipleship book for free to see if you want to use it yourself, want to go through it with someone, maybe share it with someone at your church. So just to be a blessing to you, that is available. We can go ahead. Go ahead. So after this, we're going to do one more worship song, and then I'll come back up to give some instructions for tear down and when we can go over to the marketplace. Thank you.